and arrive at our door. The knocking wouldn't be as frantic, and the soundtrack of death would be quieter, but I could still see the misery buried under their faces. They exuded grief, puffs of it jetting out of them with every step they took, like a balloon with a small hole in the process of deflating. But there was something else there, too. It was like hope without the brightness. Big, colorless smiles. Wide, empty eyes. Seeing their uncanny expressions bothered the hell out of me, so as much as I wanted to know what they were doing with Antonio in the basement for hours on end, I stayed clear. Just accepted the phenomenon without questioning it. If my mom's reaction to those birdhouses taught me anything, it's that there are certain things you're better off not knowing. Fast forward a few years. Antonio was having sessions daily, sometimes multiple times a day. Each with different people. Whatever he had been doing in the basement with Eli's parents, these new people had come to want that same service. There was only one common thread shared by all of Antonio's guests, too. Someone they loved had died sometime after the circle of birdhouses in our backyard appeared. As his sessions increased, our lives began improving. Mom bought a car out of the blue, a luxury we had to sell to help pay for Dad's funeral when I was much younger. There were talks of me attending to college. I received more than one present under the Christmas tree, and I was allowed to go wherever I wanted. For dinner on my birthday, cost be damned. Meanwhile, Antonio's episodes continued to become more frequent and unpredictable. It got so bad that Mom had to lock his bedroom door from the outside at night. She told me it was for his protection, as well as ours. Ultimately, I found myself shamefully relieved by the intervention. We were safer with Antonio confined to his room while we slept. One night, when I couldn't sleep, I snuck downstairs, looking to pop my head out the front door and get some fresh air. The inside of our house had a tendency to wick up moisture and hold onto it for dear life, which made the entire place feel like a greenhouse during the summer. Crisp night air had always been the antidote, but sometimes the window in my bedroom wasn't enough. When that was the case, I'd spend a few minutes outside. For most of my childhood, that wasn't an issue. Once we started locking Grandpa in his room while we slept, however, I was no longer allowed downstairs at night, so I needed to sneak around. When I passed Antonio's room that night, I stopped dead in my tracks. My head swiveled around its axis, now on high alert, scanning the darkness. His door was wide open. I don't think he was inside the house with me, though. The last thing I saw as I sprinted on my tiptoes back the way I came was a faint yellow-orange glow emanating from our backyard and through the kitchen window. I briefly paused, eyes transfixed by the ritual taking place behind our house. After that, I wasn't sprinting on my tiptoes anymore. I was running on my heels, not caring if the racket woke up my mom. On each of the 20 or so birdhouses, there was a single lit candle. Above the circle framed by the trees and the birdhouses, there was a plume of fine, wispy smoke, like incense. But it didn't look like the smoke was rising out of the circle. Why are they called